amounts. This is 1886.
Test. Okay. Last time we were on. I was on 34, 35. Now I'll be reading a bit more. Okay. Last time it was about him shining or something. Moses shining. No. And Moses gathered all the assembly, all the children of Israel, and said to them, "These are the words which Jehovah has commanded you to do. 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day you shall have a Sabbath of complete rest, holy to Jehovah. Whoever does any work, he shall be put to death." Okay. "He shall kindle no fire in any of your dwellings on Sabbath day." And Moses spoke to all the assembly of the children of Israel, saying, "This is what Jehovah has commanded, saying, take from among yourselves a half offering to Jehovah. Whoever is of willing heart, let him bring it, the half offering to Jehovah, gold and silver and bronze, and blue and purple and scarlet strands, and fine linen and goat's hair, and rams' skins dyed red, and porpoise skins, and acacia wood, and oil for the light, and spices for the anointing oil, and for the fragrant incense, and onyx stones, and stones to be set on the ephod, and for the breastplate." I forget what this for. Yeah, okay, apron. For the apron and for the breastplate. "And let every man who is wise in heart among you come and make all that Jehovah has commanded. The tabernacle, its tent and its covering, its clasps and its boards, its bars, its pillars and its sockets." That was a tent, right? A movable tent, like movable dwelling. Yes! Top J. Its tent, tabernacle, its tent and its covering, its clasp and its boards, its bars, its pillars and its sockets. The ark exposed the expiation cover and it fell on the screen of the screen, the table and its posts and all its utensils, and the bread and the presence, and the lampstand. What the fuck? "And the lampstand for the light, and its utensils and its lamps, and the oil for the light, and the odor of incense, and its poles, and the anointing oil, and the fragrant incense, and the screen for the entrance, and the entrance of the tabernacle, the altar of burnt offering with its grating of bronze, its poles, and all its utensils, the lever and its base, the hangings of the cord, its pillars and its sockets, and the screen for the gate of the court, the pegs of the tabernacle, and the pegs of the court and their cords, the finely worked garments for ministering in the sanctuary, the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments of his sons for them to serve as priests. And all the assembly of the children of Israel departed from the presence of Moses, and they came, everyone whose heart lifted him up, and everyone whose spirit made him willing, and brought the half offering to Jehovah from the work of the tent of meeting, and for all its service, and for the holy garments. Test, 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 test. No. P? Okay. I think it's gonna be better. "And they came, men together with women, as many as were of a willing heart, and brought nose rings, and earrings, and signet rings, and pendants, all kinds of articles of gold, even every man who waved a wave offered of gold to Jehovah. And every man with whom was found blue and purple and scarlet strands of fine linen, and goat's hair, and rams, skins, fat bread, and porpoise skins brought them, and everyone who offered the half offering of silver and bronze brought the half offering of Jehovah, and every man with whom was found acacia wood for any work of his service brought it. And all the women who were wise in heart spun with their hands and brought what they had spun, to burn the purple scarlet strands and the fine linen. And all the women whose heart lifted them up in wisdom spun the goat's hair. And the leaders brought the onyx stones and the stones for setting for the ephod and for the breastplate, and the spices and the oil for the light, and for the anointing oil, and for the fragrant incense. The children of Israel brought the free will offering to Jehovah. Every man and woman whose heart was made willing to bring for all the work which Jehovah had commanded to Moses to be done, brought a free will offering. Every man and woman whose heart was made willing. And Moses said to the children of Israel, "See, Jehovah has called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah." Wait, was Judah like part of the Bible? Judah was according to Genesis the 4 6 of Jacob. Yeah, I remember. Okay. And he has filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom and understanding, and with knowledge and with all kinds of workmanship, even to fashion skillful designs, to work in gold and in silver and in bronze, and in the cutting of stones for setting eight, in the carving of wood, to work in all kinds of skillful workmanship. And he has put in his heart to teach both he and Oholiab, the son of Ahisamach of the tribe of Dan. That's pretty cool. He has filled them with wisdom of heart. Give me a wee sec, I have to check something really quickly. Okay. Okay. He has filled them with wisdom of heart to work all kinds of workmanship, of an engraver and of a skillful workman, and of an embroiderer in blue and in purple and in scarlet strands, and in fine linen, and of the weaver, even of those who did all kinds of workmanship, and of those who fashioned skillful designs. Okay. And Bazael and Oholiab, and every man who is wise in heart, in whom Jehovah has put wisdom and understanding to how to do the work for the service of the sanctuary, shall work according to all that Jehovah has commanded. And Moses called Bazael and Oholiab, and every man who was wise in heart, in whose heart Jehovah has put wisdom, even everyone whose heart lifted him up to come to the work to do it. And they received from Moses every half offering which the children of Israel had brought for the work of the service of the sanctuary to make it. And they still kept bringing to him freewill offerings every morning. And all the wise men who did all the work of the sanctuary came, every man from his work which he was doing, and spoke to Moses, saying, "The people are bringing much more than enough for the service of the work which Jehovah commanded us to do." people were paying much more than enough for the service of the work. And Moses gave a commandment and a proclamation was passed through the camp, saying, "Let neither man nor woman produce any more material for the half opening of the sanctuary." So the people who were restrained from bringing, and for the material they had was sufficient and more than enough for all the work to do it. And the wise men in heart among those who did the work made the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twined linen and blue and purple and scarlet strands, with cherubim, the work of skilled workmen, Bezalel made them. Wing, describing coordination. Okay. The length of each curtain was 28 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. All the curtains had the same measurement, and he joined 5 curtains to one another, and the other 5 curtains he joined to one another. And he made loops of blue strands. 38, okay. And he made loops of blue strands upon the edge of the one curtain at the end in the set. Likewise, he made them in the edge of the outermost curtain in the second set. He made 50 loops on the one curtain, and he made 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that was in the second set. The loops were opposite one another. And he made 50 clasps of gold and joined the curtains to one another with the clasps, so the tabernacle became one. And he made curtains of goat's hair for a tent over the tabernacle. 11 curtains he made in all. The length of each curtain was 30 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. The 11 curtains had the same measurement, and he joined 5 of the curtains by themselves and 6 of the curtains by themselves. And he made 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that was outermost in the set, and 50 loops he made upon the edge of the curtain which was outermost in the second set. And he made 50 clasps of bronze to join the tent together, that it might become one. And he made a covering for the tent of ram skins dyed red, and a covering of porpoise skins above it. And he made the boards for the tabernacle of acacia wood standing up. 10 cubits was the length of a board, and 1.5 cubits the width of each board. Each board had 2 tenons fitted to one another. Thus he did for all the boards of the tabernacle. And he made the boards for the tabernacle 20 boards for the south side southward. And he made 40 sockets. By the way, guys, I am not gonna even try to comprehend what's happening here. It is saying something about tents, something about direction, something about cubits. I know they're making a tent, but I am not going to try to imagine the tent. It's too complicated. Like, he made this, he did that, he made this, he did that, God proclaimed this is too complicated. I'll just keep reading. The next part for its 2 tents. 2 sockets under one board for its 2 tents, and 2 sockets under the next board for its 2 tents. And for the second side of the tabernacle on the north side, he made 20 boards. 2 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under the board in its 2 tents, and 2 sockets under the next board for its 2 tents. And for the second side of the tabernacle on the north side, he made 20 boards. And there 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under the one board and sockets under the next board. And for the rear of the tabernacle westward, he made 6 boards. And 2 boards he made for the concerns of the tabernacle in the rear. Costa, chefe. Okay. Boards, 2 sockets under one board for its 2 tents, and 2 sockets under the next board for its 2 tents. And for the second side of the tabernacle, on the north side, he made 20 boards. And there 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board and 2 sockets under the next board. And for the rear of the tabernacle westward he made 6 boards, and 2 boards he made for the corners of the tabernacle in the rear. And they were double below, and at its top they were completely joined to a single ring, thus he did to both of them for the 2 corners. And there were 8 boards with their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under every board. And he made bars of acacia wood, 5 for the bores of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the bores of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the 5 bars for the bores of the tabernacle with the rear westward. And he made the middle bar to pass through in the center of the boards from end to end, and he overlaid the boards with gold, and he made the rings of gold as holders for the bars, and overlaid the bars with gold. And he made the veil of blue and purple and scarlet strands. And fine twinned linen he made with cherubim, the work of a skillful workman. And he made for it 4 pillars of acacia and overlaid them with gold. Their hooks were of gold, and he casted them the 4 sockets of silver. And he made a screen for the entrance of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet strands, and fine twinned linen, the work of an embroiderer. Holy shit, how do you pronounce that?
Embroiderer.
Of course, it's embroiderer. And it's 5 pillars with their hooks, and he overlaid their capitals and their connection roots with gold, and their 5 sockets were of bronze. That one's short. And Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood 2.5 cubits with its length, and 1.5 cubits its width, and 1.5 cubits its height. And he overlaid it with pure gold inside and outside, and he made a rim of gold around it. And he cast 4 rings of gold for it, and its 4 feet, and 2 rings were on the side of it. And 2 rings on the other side of it, And he made posts of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He put the posts into the rings on the sides of the ark to carry the ark. The rings on the sides to carry the ark. And he made the expiation cover of pure gold. 2.5 cubits was its length, and 1.5 cubits its width. And he made 2 cherubim of gold. What the fuck was cherubim? No, cherubim was the little bird. Like, not the bird, the winged thingy. Yes, I remember, the winged angel type shit. Not type shit. Whatever. Of beaten work he made them at the 2 ends of the expiation cover. 1 cherub at the side at the one end, and 1 cherub at the other end. Of 1 piece with the expiation cover he made a cherubim at its 2 ends. And the cherubim spread out their wings above the cover, covering the expiation cover with. And the cherubim spread out their wings above the cover, covering the expiation cover with their wings, with their faces toward one another. The face of the cherubim were toward the expiation cover. And he made the table of acacia wood 2 cubits with its length, and a cubit its width, and 1.5 cubits its height. And he overlaid with pure gold, and he made a rim of gold around it, and he made a frame of handbread around it. Handbread. How do you pronounce it? Any various units of length varying. Yeah, sure. Bread around it, and he made a rim of gold for its frame around it. And he cast 4 rings of gold and put the rings on the four corners that were on its 4 feet. The rings were close to the frame as holders for the posts to carry the table, and he made the posts of acacia wood to carry the table and overlaid them with gold. And he made the utensils which were to be upon the table, its plates and its cups and its bowls and its pitchers with which to pour the drink offerings of pure gold. And he made a lampstand of pure gold. He made a lampstand with its base and its shaft beaten work, its cups, its calyxes, and its blossom buds were of fine piecewood. And there were 6 branches going out of its shades, 3 branches of the lampstand, out of one of its sides, and 3 branches of the lampstand out of its other side. 3 cups made like almond blossoms in the branch, a calyx and a blossom bud, and 3 cups made like almond blossoms in the other branch, a calyx and a blossom bud. So far, the 6 branches going out of the lampstand. So forward, the 6 branches of the lampstand. And on the lampstand were 4 cups made like almond blossoms, its calyxes on and its blossom buds, and the calyx. What's a calyx? Cup like cavity or structure. Okay, so something. Josh, could you read about it now? Okay. The 2 branches of one piece. Funny. And the silex. Actually, let me be fancy here. Need 1 piece with it, and the calyx under 2 branches for 1 piece with it, for 6 branches going out of it. Calyx, 2 branches, 1 piece. Their calyxes and their branches were of 1 piece with it, and of it was 1 beaten work of pure gold. And he made it 7 lamps, and its tongues, and its 5 pounds of pure gold. He made it of a talent of pure gold and all its utensils. And he made the altar of incense of acacia wood, a cubit of its length and a cubit its width, square, and 2 cubits its height. Its horns were of 1 piece with it. And he overlaid with pure gold its top and its sides around it, and its horns he made a rim of gold around it. And he made for its 2 golden rings under its rim, on its 2 sides, on its opposite sides, as holders for poles with which to carry it. And he made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. And he made a holy anointing oil and the pure fragrant incense, the work of a compounder. Okay, that's about it. 37:29 and 24 minutes. Fair, not really more. GG.